My Best Friends Live in the Woods. The Adventures of Albert by Anne Michelle Mracek.
Chapter 28. Wearing Purple. Mother, we can all wear purple. Molly burst through the front door, Jillian and Clara right behind her. It's so thrilling, Clara burst. I can see that. Mother Skunk set down the broom and motioned for the girls to sit with her around the kitchen table. Who is we and where are we wearing purple? Mother asked, a tease in her voice. Well, the great stag asked me to sing the sunrise, so Clara and Molly and I came up with a plan to do it as a trio, to practice for the crowning. So we all spent the night with Anthena in the Great Glen last night to be ready to sing the sun this morning, Jillian explained.
Shine the promise of light, fill our hearts with delight. Shine the promise of light, fill our hearts with delight. Sing the dawn, spirits apart, we shall sing the dawn. Shine the promise of light,
The great stag and the queen loved it so much. They were so surprised by our trio. Jillian was grinning ear to ear. So then, Mother dear, or should I call her the queen? Well, anyway, she said to the great stag, I think we should have the girls wear purple for the ceremony to show they are part of our extended family. Don't you, Matthew? And he said,
Yes, I agree.
And
I think Mother Skunk and her entire family should be included in that.
And then Mother Dear agreed. So we are all to wear purple. Jillian's words were gushing out as fast as she could form them. Mother Skunk sat with her mouth open in a silent gasp. Then she took a deep breath. She slowly and cautiously replied, While I greatly appreciate the sentiment, I remind you that only Albert has a purple garment. I don't think it is possible for me to make that many aprons and vests by the longest day ceremony. That is the brilliant thing about it all, Clara said enthusiastically. Mother Dear said to the great stag, I don't want Matilda to fret, so let's have the royal sewers make the garments. And he nodded in agreement. Molly joined in. We are all going to go to the Great Glen tomorrow at highest sun for the fitting. I'm so excited I could burst. Molly wiggled in her seat. Mother Skunk clapped her hands. Bless you, Clarissa. So now you can relax and enjoy. Molly beamed a happy smile at her mother. And enjoy it I will. I haven't had a new apron since before you were all born. Now, surely no one will look down on us. Mother Skunk was thrilled. It had been a worry from the beginning about how to get new clothes for the family. Each day she had meant to start sewing, but just the daily demands of meals and cleaning had taken their toll till by the end of the day she was tired and no sewing had been accomplished. This is such a weight off my shoulders, Mother Skunk shared with the girls. Now I can focus on cleaning and decorating and, of course, what to make as a gift. Mother Skunk said her mind was always jumping to the next task. I don't think you should do any decorating or cleaning, Molly protested. But of course I should. We will most certainly have friends dropping by, and probably Anthena and Clarissa. Mother Skunk almost scolded Molly. Molly laughed. I don't think you should do any cleaning or decorating. You should tell all of us what to do and then sit back and offer instructions while we do the work. Molly was smiling, liking her plan. Oh, yes, I would like to help too, Clara offered. Oh, Mother Skunk laughed. Well, all right then. At the family meeting tonight, we will all discuss the details, Mother Skunk said as she stood up and picked her broom back up. We need a new door wreath, that's for sure, she added. Since it's summer, I don't think we should use pine branches this time, Jillian offered. I agree, Mother Skunk said thoughtfully. You know, the pink roses make pretty dried flowers. If we snip the thorns off the stems, they would weave nicely, Mother Skunk said as she tried to imagine the new wreath. The rosemary is blooming and smells so lovely with its little purple blossoms. We could use some nice long branches to weave in with the roses, Jillian offered. Oh, yes, splendid, Mother clapped, as she always did when an idea was especially pleasing. Since Bluebell made the pine wreath, I think we should include her in making the new one, Molly offered. They all nodded. And since Albert was such a help weaving the flower crowns, I think we should include him too, Clara suggested. It was just a bit selfish. She really just wanted to be with Albert any time she could. They all agreed, and Clara was relieved. When will Bluebell be home? Molly asked Mother Skunk. Hard to say these days, Mother Skunk sighed. But she is usually in time for the family meeting. We will discuss it then, Mother added. Now back to sweeping. Oh, no, you don't, the girls laughed. Our turn, they giggled as they led Mother Skunk into the hearth room and lowered her into her big overstuffed chair. You nap, we will sweep, they all giggled. But Mother began to protest. They put their fingers to their lips to the hush and said, No protests, nap. And they took the broom into the kitchen. A faint smile played across Mother Skunk's face as she relaxed into her chair. This may work out quite nicely, she said to herself as her eyes grew heavy. The family meeting was at first dusk, and Jillian and Molly were standing outside the front door of the cave as the children began to arrive. Clara had gone home for supper. Mother is napping, they explained, blocking the door. We will have the meeting outside. When Albert and the other boys arrived, Albert offered their services to gather logs to arrange in a circle to sit on. Let's make a ring of stumps around the fire pit, Albert told the boys. Henry, Ricky, and Nicholas, you could find good-sized stones to put in a circle for a fire pit, and then the rest of us boys can haul larger stumps around that. Albert was a natural leader and automatically began to organize the effort. Charlie, Jack, and Daniel, could you gather smaller sticks for a little fire? Albert asked. What can the girls do? Rosie asked, not wanting to be left out. Why don't you all begin to sort out the contents of your basket so Mother doesn't have to do it later? Albert offered. As they all set to their tasks, Bluebell came walking up with Benjamin. Let me give you a hand, Benjamin offered to Albert as he was trying to roll a rather large tree limb into place. You get one and I'll get the other. I think we can lift it, Benjamin grinned. Between the two of them, they made short work of it. Bluebell quietly tiptoed into the kitchen to get the flint rock to start their little meeting fire. As she did, she peeked in on Mother Skunk to see her twitching and smiling now again in her dreams. Must be a nice dream. Bluebell smiled to herself and tiptoed back out with the flint. Is she still asleep? Molly asked Bluebell as she stepped outside. Bluebell nodded. The preparations were complete, and Bluebell hit the stone and started a cheery little fire. "Everyone take a seat," she called out, and all the children sat in the log circle they had created. "This family meeting is now in session," Bluebell said with an exaggerated wave of her arm, and they all laughed. "Any news?" she asked, looking around. Molly and Jillian raised their hands excitedly. "You two seem anxious to share," Bluebell said, nodding to them. "We all get to wear purple," Molly blurted out in excitement. "For the crowning," Jillian added. "Mother dear, the Queen, is going to have all the royal sewers make us all new vests and aprons in purple," Jillian explained. "Yes, we all have to be at the Great Glen tomorrow at highest sun for the fitting," Molly announced proudly. Bluebell clapped her hands with delight, and all the children began to chatter and giggle with excitement. Benjamin leaned over to Albert and whispered, "I love how she claps when she is happy." "Just like her mama," Albert grinned. All the excitement was noisy enough to rouse Mother Skunk from her dreams. As she stretched, rubbed her eyes, she was confused. The room was almost dark. Glancing toward the window, she saw the orange blush of a setting sun. "Really? I couldn't have slept that long," she said to herself as she shuffled into the kitchen to have a better look out the window. She was surprised to see all her children gathered around a cheery little campfire, happily talking. "Well, I'll be," she whispered as she stood at the window. A broad smile and sense of contentment overtook her. She was proud of her family. "Mama's awake!" Charlie yelled, excitedly pointing at the window. Everyone turned to see her smiling at them. Layla and Debbie were closest to the front door and jumped up to open it. "Come out and join us!" Layla scampered in and grabbed Mother Skunk by the hand. Debbie was right behind and added merrily, "You have to see the campfire and ring of logs we made." The girls pulled her out in a flurry of excitement. Bluebell motioned for Mother to sit in her spot around the fire. When Mother eased herself down, Bluebell noticed there wasn't an empty spot. But Benjamin patted his lap for her to sit, and she blushed and cozied in on his lap. "We get new clothes for the crowning," Marigold told Mother. "Yes, I know. Molly, Clara, and Jillian told me earlier," she nodded. "Everyone has to be certain to be at the Great Glen at highest sun," Mother Skunk told her family. "I think we should all stay home together tomorrow morning and go as a group," she added. "The front door needs a new wreath. Let's make that the project for the morning," she continued. "I know Clara wanted to help with that. Albert, could you go to Clara's in the morning and invite her to join us?" Mother Skunk smiled a knowing smile. "Sure," was all Albert said, but Timothy was sitting next to him, poking him with his elbow and teased, "Sure, love to." He mocked and snickered. Mother pretended not to notice Timothy and continued, "We were thinking pink roses and rosemary. Any other ideas?" "Since purple seems to be the theme, how about dyeing some ribbons purple and weaving them in as well as tying a bow?" Bluebell offered. Mother Skunk clapped with delight. "Oh, yes, let's," she beamed. Albert whispered to Benjamin, "See, just like your mama," and smiled. As the details were planned, Charlie, Jack, and Daniel busied themselves by adding more sticks to the fire. Little sparks and tiny curls of smoke rose into the darkening night sky as the stars came out. The crackling of the little fire and the sweet smell of the burning wood imprinted a lovely memory in Albert's mind. "It's wonderful to be part of a family," Albert thought to himself. "I'm hungry," Charlie announced loudly. "Me too," Daniel agreed. "Anything more to discuss?" Bluebell looked around the circle. Okay then, everyone in the kitchen for supper, Mother Skunk said as she stood up. We sorted the baskets, Marigold told Mother proudly as they went inside. Wonderful! Then I will leave dinner to you. Do you think you can organize it tonight? Mother Skunk asked Marigold. Oh yes, I can do it! Marigold was very happy to be put in charge. It was her first time, and she was proud and determined. Mother Skunk clapped for silence. Everyone, Marigold is in charge of dinner tonight. Please give her the help she requests, Mother instructed her family. Abigail and Melanie cheered. Hooray for Marigold! What's for dinner, sis? And giggled. I think a big pot of stew, Marigold said with enthusiasm. Boys, get down the big pot, she instructed. And so it wasn't long before the contents of their baskets were washed and chopped and gurgling away in the big pot. Sprigs of rosemary, onions, greens, roots, and tubers, blending in the spring water till the aroma filled the cave. Marigold did a splendid job of organizing, and after everyone had eaten, Albert stood up and shouted, 3 cheers for Marigold! And everyone joined in the chant. To Marigold, health, they shouted and stamped their feet on the ground 3 times. To Marigold, laughter, they shouted and stamped their feet on the ground 3 times. To Marigold, love, they shouted and stamped their feet as fast as they could over and over, ending up with clapping and boisterous laughter. Marigold stood and took a bow. It was her proudest moment. Being a middle child in such a large family, this was recognition to treasure, and her heart glowed. Mother Skunk had been watching all evening, ready to step in if necessary, but was so proud they had managed on their own. Well done, my darling, Mother Skunk said to Marigold that night as she kissed her forehead and said good night. Sweet dreams, Mother Skunk said to all her children, cuddled in the great moss bed as she turned to walk back into the kitchen. She was surprised to see Bluebell starting the teapot to boil. You should get some sleep, she said to Bluebell. Yes, well, I'm sad, and I thought chamomile would help, Bluebell told Mother as she paced the room. Trouble? Mother Skunk searched her face. No, it's just I get so sad every time Benjamin leaves, she confided. Mother nodded. At least your sad has an end, she said with a distant look. Oh, how selfish of me! Bluebell felt terrible. Of course, you miss Papa all the time. Bluebell wrung her hands. Not all the time. Mother Skunk's expression changed to a faint smile. I was walking with him in the forest when we were young this afternoon. My nap took me to him in a dream. She smiled. It was lovely, she said as she shuffled to her chair. Maybe I'll see him again tonight, she said hopefully. Good night, Mama. Bluebell blew her a kiss.
Chapter 28, Wearing Purple. Discussion and questions. Family. Being included in an extended family gives us security and comfort. Mother Deer wants to honor and include Mother Skunk and her children as part of her extended family. Providing new clothes is a way Mother Deer can both honor and care for her friends, her love for them made visible. Question 1. Who do you include in your extended family? Question 2. How do you honor and care for them? The skunk children are enthusiastically taking on more responsibility for the running of the household. Question 3. How do you contribute to the running of your household? Question 4. Do you have family meetings to plan and share news and concerns? Question 5. How is open communication beneficial to the family?
I am the composer and performer for all the music in this video. Both audio recordings and the printed scores are available on mybestfriendsliveinthe.woods.com. I will provide the link below. The painted illustrations are also my creation. Prints are available on mybestfriendsliveinthe.woods.com. This is a novel. The chapters are meant to be heard in the order in which they were written. And while each chapter can stand alone, they do build as new characters are introduced and past events are referred to. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. The chapters are numbered, so if you're just joining us, be sure to go back and watch from Chapter 1